One day my mama caught me painting pictures on the floor and the ceiling and the walls and the curtains and the door. And I heard my mama holler like I never did before. You ain't gonna paint no more. Ooh, look at that mess. That's a lot of paint. Hopefully you've never done something like this. Look, Mama's putting all the art supplies up on a very high shelf. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. That's what I say, but there ain't no way that I ain't gonna paint no more. Getting the art supplies back down. Look at all of this white space. This is not where you should be painting. You should be painting on paper. But it's very enticing, isn't it? So I take some red and I paint my head. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Oh, what the heck? I'm gonna paint my neck. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still, I just can't rest till I paint my chest. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Guess there ain't no harm if I paint my arm. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. But I just can't stand not to paint my hand. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Then I see some black, so I paint my back. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Like an Easter egg, I'm gonna paint my leg. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. Still, it ain't complete till I paint my feet. Now I ain't gonna paint no more. I ain't gonna paint no more, no more. I ain't gonna paint no more. You see who's just catching up now and noticing? But I'm such a nut. I'm gonna paint my what? Poor mama. Y'all don't faint 'cause there ain't no paint. So I ain't gonna paint no more. Back in the bathtub. Yeah, and this is a good time of year to be painting outside.
Time to paint the house, says Vincent. Said Vincent. Vincent could not decide what color to use. There's lots of choices. Maybe I will just paint it white, said Vincent. Ta-da! White is nice. You can say that with me. We're going to say every color is nice. So this time it's white is nice, said Vincent. And then we all say stop. Ready? Stop, said the spider. This is my house, and I like red. Oh, goodness. And we say red is nice. You ready? Red is nice, said Vincent. And we all say stop. Stop, said the caterpillar. This is my house, and I like yellow. Vincent says yellow is nice. Ready? Yellow is nice, said Vincent. And we all say stop. Stop, said the beetle. This is my house, and I like purple. What do you think Vincent's going to say to purple? Purple is nice, said Vincent. And we all say stop. Ready? Stop, said the bird. This is my house, and I like blue. What do you think Vincent's going to say about blue? Blue is nice, said Vincent. And we all say stop. Ready? Stop, said the butterfly. This is my house, and I like orange. Must be a monarch butterfly. He's got paint on him now. And he says, orange is nice, said Vincent. And we all say stop. Ready? Stop, said the snake. This is my house, and I like green. I wonder why. Vincent says, green is nice. We all say stop. Ready? Stop, said the mouse. This is my house, and I like brown. Vincent says, brown is nice. But we all say stop. Ready? Stop, said the bat. This is my house, and I like black. Poor Vincent. What is he going to say to that one? Black is nice, said Vincent. But actually, this is my house, he says. Uh-oh, what's he going to do? And I like all the colors. And everyone was happy. You know, that doesn't happen very often where you can please everybody. But that turned out pretty nice. Yeah. The end. Vincent painted a painting called The Starry Night.
Bridget was drawn to drawing. She liked to draw as much as other kids liked ice cream. That's a lot. Her favorite place to draw was outdoors. When she was outdoors drawing all the things around her, Bridget felt like she was right where she belonged. This is a good time of year for that, just like I was saying. It's a good time of year to be outside doing art, isn't it? She created many masterpieces. Some went on permanent exhibit. This is her refrigerator and her wall at home. Others were only available for a limited viewing. That means you can only see them for a little while. Can you see why? Because it's sidewalk chalk and it's starting to rain. Maybe there will be a rainbow. Of course, Bridget had lots of art supplies, but her most important art supply wasn't something to draw or paint with. It was a hat. Not just any old hat, but a big black beret, the kind of hat that lots of great artists wear. Before Bridget made any kind of art, she'd put on her beret and adjust it until it looked just right. It had to have that certain je ne sais quoi. That's French. She had no idea what that meant, but she knew that all great artists needed it to make art. Here's some pictures of painters wearing berets. This is Picasso, Rembrandt, Sisley, and Monet. Unfortunately, not Van Gogh from the last book. I don't know if he wore a beret. I'm not sure. One day, just as Bridget was putting an inspired dash of purple on a cluster of flowers, a big gust of wind came along and lifted her beret right off her head. It caught the breeze and went sailing through the air like a kite. I guess if you're going to do art outside, maybe you should be ready for a gust of wind. Unfortunately, this kite didn't have a string. All it had was a little girl running after it screaming, "My beret! My beret!" Before Bridget could even get over the fence, her beret was out of sight. Can you see how tiny it is? Look how far away it went really fast. She searched the neighborhood, asking everyone if they had seen her beret. She's asking the crows. They probably know. Crows know everything, right? She filed a missing beret report. She even offered a reward. It says, "Missing beret, reward, 1 work of art." That's a good reward. But it was no use. Bridget had lost her beret, and with it, she was sure she had lost her ability to draw. She tried on all the other hats in the house to see if any of them would give her artistic inspiration. Mom's gardening hat, her stocking cap, her brother's cap, looks like a baseball hat, a cowboy hat, a fez, this is a cool little kind of hat, a propeller beanie, I'm zooming in on this one, propeller beanie, a coonskin cap, a pith helmet. This is like the kind that people wear when they're going on safari or adventures. Dad's fishing hat. But she wasn't the least bit inspired by any of them. So Bridget gave up and did what any self-respecting artist would do. What do you think she did? What would you do if you had lost your beret and you couldn't do art anymore? You didn't feel like you could? She cried and pouted and sulked and generally felt sorry for herself. Her friend Madeline invited her to draw, but Bridget said, "I can't draw. I have artist's block." That means that you're having trouble being inspired. "I have blocks too," said Madeline, "but I can still draw." It says over here, what the heck is artist block? It's long, but it means that you're having trouble deciding what to do. A few days later, her little sister Jessie asked her, "Bridget, would you please make a sign for our lemonade stand?" "I can't," said Bridget. "I don't have my beret." "But it's not a drawing, it's just a sign," said Jessie. "Please." "Well, okay, I'll make your sign," Bridget replied grumpily. Replied grumpily. That's a tongue twister, y'all. Replied grumpily. Woo. But no drawing. Bridget got a big roll of paper, some paint and brushes, and began to make a sign. She couldn't help but notice that with a little bit of yellow paint, the O in the word lemonade could become a lemon. And it needed a little bump at the bottom and a leaf or two. And I'd better put a smiling face over here so everyone will know the girls at this lemonade stand are friendly. Look at those friendly faces. There were still some empty spaces on the sign. She filled those in with other shapes and colors that looked a lot like drawings. "That's an okay sign," said Bridget, "but you'll need another one down at the corner to attract customers. And another one for the other corner." Before she knew it, Bridget was painting signs as fast as the girls could put them up. Pretty soon, every tree, telephone pole, and signpost in the neighborhood held one of Bridget's masterpieces. These are kind of like the art of some famous artists, and this one is like that Starry Night painting by Vincent van Gogh, only it's lemons. That's very clever. Good job, Bridget. All the neighbors thought it was a wonderful art opening. They gathered around the refreshment table to discuss the paintings and how great it was that Bridget was able to make art again. So they think it's an art show and the lemonade is just extra, when the lemonade is supposed to be the main thing, right? Where is Bridget anyway, they wondered. She was right back where she belonged. And it doesn't say it in the book. Here's Bridget. She's doing art, but do you see what the dog is bringing? Can you see what that is? It's her beret. The dog found it. The end.
Nature is an artist, skilled beyond compare. It means she's amazing at it. Look at its creations in the water, earth, and air. Yep, trees, water, all the things. We can all be artists. Nature shows us how. So many styles to choose from. Let's get started now. Let's see what we're going to do. She's got like a paintbrush. With a splash of color, nature paints a scene, hills against the sunrise, gold and rose and green. Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I can make something quite that pretty. We finger paint a picture, just like she did there. Dab daisies in a field, thumbprint bees and shaggy trees, a lazy day revealed. Have you ever done those thumbprint ones? You do the thumbprint with the paint that you draw on it. That's a fun one to do. Summer flowers scatter petals all around. These are the petals of the flowers. Nature makes a fine collage on the grassy ground. Yeah. So we're going to do the same. We pick slips of paper. Yep. Then one by one, we paste them down in order. Our masterpiece is done. That'd be kind of cool. Nature is a sculptor. That means like you carve things out. Molding rock and clay, wind and rain and water carve slowly day by day. So this river is carving a space in the rock. This would be easier doing sandcastles. We too make sculptures, packing sand, and soon our towers are so tall they seem to reach the moon. I don't think I've ever made one quite that big. Maybe a big one. Nature etches artwork waiting to be found. Fossilized impressions hidden in the ground. You ever seen fossils? They're all underground and they're turned to stone from a long time ago. We create like nature by stamping on a sheet. Stars and swirls and circles. Yep. Press with paint and repeat. Go boom, 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 stamps. You can do that with potatoes too. You cut out the shape of a potato and you stick it in the paint and you stick it on the paper. Nature makes a rainbow of colors splashed up high. Rain and sun together form stained glass. In the sky, there's our rainbow. It's not really glass. It's just light and water. We tear shapes from tissue to decorate a jar. Inside, we put a tea light that twinkles like a star. Have you ever done that? I had a friend make one of these for me. It's like got paper, tissue paper on it to make it glow pretty colors. I like that picture of Mama Nature. Deserts, oceans, sunsets, mountains topped with snow. Nature's always making the world its art show. That's its art show. At home along the mantle, we treasure our keepsakes, celebrating every day all that nature makes. So there's their pictures along the top of the fireplace. She's outside snoozing. There's our end papers again.